pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
I got roll call good for the time being, unless everyone walks in. Agenda, we're adding under 9, unfinished new business, we're adding line item F for fireworks update. We forgot to add that there, just to contact Ms. Pyro and so forth. But I'll motion to approve the agenda with that addition.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of the December 12th, 2022 park board meeting. I didn't see anything other than we did not mention that we approved the calendar. So we probably should have mentioned that we approved it.
I will note to add that mention with that addition.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I missed the pledge.
We kind of went early on this, sorry.
I pledge.
We know how you are, Aaron, you would have been yielding anyway.
Yeah.
Signing of per diem slips are done. Secretary's report.
None.
Treasurer's report.
No big surprises, other than since we didn't have our last meeting, this one was a little bit
A full one.
more.
Mm-hmm.
The Porta-Johns, we got a credit on that because they billed us and we paid it because we automatically pay them in advance. And then same thing with the winter trash. They were billing us to empty them weekly, which
Doing buy or
we don't need, we're doing once a month.
once a month.
So if anybody's dumpsters get full, maybe here, maybe,
It's rare, unless we have a ton of bookings, but
without the snow and stuff like that, so just let me know and I can have them pick it up again.
copy.
But that's what's going on there, the Porta-Johns, that is the price for the winter rate and pre-billed for January. The only other notes are 2 Minutes to Clean got us their October, November, December billings.
Yep.
The numbers in the far right-hand column is the countdown of what we had budgeted for the cleaning services.
For the year,
For the year.
so we're pretty accurate.
So we're good?
No,
No,
because
because
we're
we have
halfway
in
through
July,
the year.
right? We have
It
in
goes
July.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So we have $800, which will cover realistically about 1 month. And then
We've had
some
a
of
lot
the
more
previous
bookings.
bookings. So what we have to look at is, are we going to close all of our reservations? Because we're not getting any money in to compensate us for that. Or either that, or at $500 a month, we're gonna run a negative of about $2,000 in that line item.
Oh, we could transfer something from another line item.
We're gonna take money from this pocket and put it in this pocket. No, it's the township hall's fault, they can clean it up.
Yeah, let them clean up, run it negative.
So if they wanna get, we can either run it a negative, in which case someone will end up transferring one to the other,
Yep.
or we just close it. Sorry, no more reservations because we don't
Well,
have the funds.
these
for
have
it.
been
You don't wanna
booked
do
far in advance.
I don't wanna do that,
Yeah.
but they don't wanna do it more than I don't wanna do it.
Yeah.
So,
Or you just get a cleaning service to come in once a month and clean and tell the people who rent the place, that's the deal.
I don't know.
Clean up after yourselves and clean up before you get here and
We have.
call township hall if you think that you shouldn't be cleaning up before and after yourselves.
I'm perfectly fine with leaving it run as is, run it in the negative, and when they wanna credit us for the money we receive off of rentals, then that'll cover it, otherwise we run it negative, because that's how we had planned it.
And I understand that, but if we run it negative, then they're gonna say, oh, we'll just pull it out of the maintenance budget. Oh, we'll just pull it out of somewhere else
Well,
that
we need-
we already don't have the money,
Right.
so.
Then when those
I'm
run
just
negative for
letting you know.
maintenance-
I mean, the way to run it not negative is to calculate how many times and just
Right.
schedule it and however clean or not clean it gets.
Well, we pay
Something that we then tell,
$88
you know,
per cleaning-ish.
and what, and
Roughly.
And we have $800, so we have about 8
bookings.
cleanings left. Right.
It's
So-
already
For
booked,
6 months?
this all
Right,
is already
between
booked more
both
than 8.
halls. We have 8 bookings left for the next 6 months.
every
that
other
we can
Saturday.
afford.
This has already more than 8 bookings up through June, because there's so many graduation party bookings
Oh, I'm
here in
sure.
May and June.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. So somebody needs to go to Township Hall and make a presentation at the next board meeting that our options are get reimbursed for that expense that we didn't anticipate, or stop renting home.
Fair enough.
So,
I can say that.
I mean, that's the options that I see. Otherwise, that's pretty much all that we had. We only rented, in December, we only had $400 worth of bookings.
New bookings, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it slowed up, but it already,
Car park rental, or the tower rental is still on here, which is irrelevant, so.
right.
Do you wanna approve these maids to clean invoices separately, or do you wanna include,
I think
just include the whole treasurer's report? Did we ever decide on that?
I'm not secretary.
I thought it was just a major item.
Yeah, I thought we could just do this as part of it, it's just if you
And that
did
covers
something
them. Okay.
out of the
Consumers,
ordinary.
Michigan Gas, Stevens,
Yep.
Yeah.
the cleaning service, these are all our standard
Okay,
expenses.
then,
I motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I will second.
Carol says aye.
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 All right, all in favor, motion passes. Community education, I have a report from her here somewhere. The winter brochure is live and registration is open for all of the winter programs and leagues, as well as some of the summer leagues. We have several new programs for kids and adults, including new art classes, kayaking, and sailing. 24 basketball teams in grades 4 through 12 start this week. Games will start on January 21st. They will play 5 games, ending in a single elimination tournament on February 25th. March Madness for grades K through 3 and volleyball for grades 3 through 8 starts at the end of the Winter Basketball League. Remember to save the date, February 11th, when we transform the high school gyms into Winter Wonderland for the annual Daddy-Daughter Dance. We are planning a few new additions to the dance to make it even more enjoyable experience for dads, uncles, grandpas, and their dates. Steve Selinsky of the Pickleball Group asked about the status of a new bench. They are hoping to get it in place in April to start the pickleball season. Thank you, submitted by Nancy Crandall, Director. What's going on with the pickleball bench?
They're not giving you a bench from us.
No, but we're remaking it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're rebuilding the existing.
Rebuild.
Yep, that was pulled and it's in storage.
I just will let her know that, so she,
Yep.
yeah.
And if you want to, if she wants to cut her out of the middle, you can give them our email and he can coordinate direct with us. Because we also wanted to talk about fixing
That's right.
courts again.
You did, yeah.
So, or if you wanna get his contact information, I can get in touch with him and
Maybe plan that
We
for
can
next
cut
meeting
her out of
for
there.
him to come and
Yeah, we can do that.
put it on agenda.
thank you.
Okay. That's that. Okay, comments from the public. Go on up, Gail, you know we
Gail Temperance. I went to the ARPA meeting, and just so you people know, I had submitted some ideas to you and also submitted them to the ARPA committee. Basically, it come down to, I mentioned the AEDs, and given the incident that recently occurred, and also the lights here at the entranceway off of the street. And it basically, once it was found out that it was me, Mr. Peroni's comment said, well, we're gonna move on and we're not gonna deal with that. So it was an issue with his not liking the fact that I suggested it. Plus, they also said that if the public has any suggestions, that they need to take them to the parties, and those parties need to give those ideas to the ARPA committee, so FYI. Secondly, I discussed at the township meeting, the fact that Mr. Peroni has, in at least 3 occasions, taken your money and used it without notifying you people at all. I'm not sure what the game plan is here, but I find that inappropriate. Even if there is an emergency, I believe that he owes you people a phone call. And why all of a sudden the pocket parks, especially the one that's next to his home, are the ones that are being taken care of all of a sudden, whereas in the past it was the neighborhood that basically did. I think you people need to sit down. You need to find out where you stand legally with these places, these Pocket Parks. It's got, that one over there's got a brand new basketball court. Put a sign out front, so the community, the neighboring state or whatever can have their people come and use those basketball courts. You've just paid to put in a brand new basketball court. So if it's public, then it needs to be signed so that the public knows that the place exists. If not, then figure out if there's a way you can sell them that's not gonna be a disadvantage to you guys, but it'll give you some monies. I find it wrong, and I've asked that there be an investigation done on how he continues to tap into everybody's pockets and uses it. He used a short load. It was the concrete, was on a weekend. There was a Michigan surcharge for the fuel. So it was, even though it was only $1,000 and he used volunteers, it just comes into question the methods of madness that are being used, and that the public's not being aware and you people aren't being aware. I don't understand the balance here, and I realize that there's issues towards you guys, and I agree, some of what has happened is not acceptable, but at the same time, that something needs to get fixed, and I'm not sure what it is. I would look forward to seeing you guys have an advocacy board, maybe just like the library does, where the advisory board could sit down and develop, they could take some of the load off of you, they could develop the Friends of the Parks, where you would have groups that would adopt a park, so to speak. But this group here could hear you and advocate on your behalf, and they could actually be a nonprofit. They fall under a 501 category where they could make money for the parks that Mr. Peroni would not be able to touch at his leisure. So that's just my concerns. I just keep going. I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, thanks, Gail.
The problem, Gail, is we don't even know he's doing it. Same thing with the mulch, he just does it. And Bob pays the bill, cause Paul tells him to pay the bill. I already talked to Phil about this.
Just-
Paul does this on his own.
Just so you know that, and I'm the treasurer, and I keep a pretty close eye on it. The park board did not pay for the basketball courts. We voted to tear the basketball courts out. He did that on his own with maintenance. The invoice for the concrete did go to the township hall, did come into the park board, and I went back and rejected it, and it disappeared from there. It did not come out of park funds for the basketball courts.
No, I have it. I have a copy.
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the mulch king to 1,500, but not yet, but yeah, here you go.
So,
There are no park funds.
yeah, I mean,
There's parks and they get funded.
Yeah, he
What are
said
park
maintenance
funds?
did not do it. It was, he publicly stated that was all done, with a donation from the cement union, so.
could have been, so I don't know.
All right, moving on to 9, unfinished and new business. The farm lease has been updated. I was supposed to meet with Rob Claire today, he couldn't make it. He says he'll meet tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the township hall and sign the lease, he's good with it, so. That's that for tomorrow.
Do we need to pick new jobs, by the way? Sorry to cut in.
No, it's all right.
Should that be one of our things? Every year we have to do the.
End of last year, yeah, we just voted all to stay the same, we could do it again, we
Oh,
could,
maybe we did. I forgot
Yeah.
about it. Okay. Maybe it wasn't that, maybe that was
we
the
can
one.
do that if you want.
No, if we did it already, that's
No,
good. I don't want.
we did it January 2022. We have not done it recently, we have not done it in the last
So we did
12
it a year
months.
ago.
Correct,
And
every
we do
year.
need to do it every January.
I don't know if we necessarily
I
have
thought-
to.
I think, for him, it's a 5-year, we gave him a 5-year lease.
No, he's talking about
Your
the.
position.
Yeah, I'm just chucking in the middle,
He's,
sorry.
he's got
I'm
his mind
interrupting.
wandering over there.
No, I mean, I just figured if A is finished, and before we start B, should we add an F or a G?
Well, we did.
We did
I
have
see F is
fireworks.
fireworks, so should we add a
Fireworks,
G to be our positions, the
Yeah,
treasurer,
we can do
secretary,
that.
all that again?
Good idea.
Which I'm happy to do nothing still, so that's good. Unless-
Did you want-
you bring
Someone to nominate me if you'd like to nominate me.
Did you want secretary back?
I'll see you back, I mean, my life is stabilized somewhat, but either way, we do need to do it.
Aaron's pocket park.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, your
Yes,
pocket
we
money.
did.
I'll do it.
You're right.
But, yeah, throw that on there, cause I remember that being an official thing we had to do. So, yeah, sorry, I was late on that.
That's all right. No
The,
problem. We should put, while we're doing this, after Wheeler, we should put pocket parks in survey, I talked with Manikin Smith. There was 348 as of Friday, but nobody voted since the 26th. That was the last one she got, even though technically it's still open. So, I mean, no, yeah, that's it. The people who care voted, and the
Yeah.
people who don't care, of course, whatever happens, they'll complain about it.
Yeah, that's how it goes with everything. though.
But, yeah, but
348.
she's starting on that, she wants to
I'd
come
say
in
close
on,
to
to us on the
1%.
13th, February
Yeah,
13th.
about 30,000.
And talk about the
1%.
partial, she'll have a survey, partial of it will be done, and she'll come in and talk about it on our February 13th meeting. So, yeah, I think we should close it, there's no point
Yep.
keeping it open anymore. I mean,
That's fine.
I'll make a motion to close the survey right now, and deal with what we've got. Oh, yeah,
Second.
all right.
Well,
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
yes.
Spark grant update, the good news is it's pending. We got everything in on time, it's under consideration, who knows how long that will be, but, you know, eventually they'll give us a yay or a nay, and if they give us an A, we can find out why, what do we need, what's different, and then go from there, decide whether we're gonna resubmit, change it to a different park or whatever, but it's in there, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Randy
Okay.
Smith helped like they said they would, push the button.
They push the button.
They push the button.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we pay them extra to
Yeah.
push the button,
No.
or to help you push the button?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
There was a whole,
Yeah, we paid
Yeah.
like
Well,
$1,500.
yes,
Yeah.
but we didn't pay the township anything more to push the button, because they're in charge of push the button. Manikin Smith, other
That's what he's
than,
asking.
somebody
Will
pushed.
Manikin Smith do anything to help?
Manikin Smith worked on the, yes, she gave us a bunch of information to put into the, application.
So who did all the
So,
applications?
You pushed the button.
No, actually Trudy has to push the button, she's the one from the township, but
Okay,
she's
so
in charge,
Trudy-
she has to push the button, so,
Push the
yeah.
button.
But,
So Trudy's ready to push the button, you got it ready, and Mannequin
Al
Smith helped
and
you,
I worked together on this,
and Mannequin Smith helped you.
and Manikin Smith gave
Manikin
us
Smith
figures,
gave her that
yes.
little plan,
Oh,
the
whatever,
drawing,
whatever they gave her, that's a yes.
made out of Legos.
One's beautiful, okay, I mean, maybe, but, whatever, reviewing, because we talked about that before.
And Hall's table, we're gonna put on,
Well, no, we can,
talk about, okay, go ahead.
I mean, we can do the round ones for Samaria, so we're gonna do,
All right,
keep rectangular tables for this building, since we don't have the table like holders
great.
for the round ones, but Samaria does. And the only pricing I have is for round tables, so basically we can cover Samaria. All of them online come with these stipulations. They were all 72-inch round, so seats 8 to 10 per table. So we would need 10 tables to meet our seating capacity for the building. They all are generally 70 to 75 pounds in weight. They're all relative, they're all a 500-pound plus rated table. And they're all, so online you can get a 5-pack from Amazon, basically they come to $388 a table.
What's your, make a motion.
I would say, do we need to cover all this,
I
or
don't think so.
going to actual
got three prices.
lifelong wood tables that Toledo Tent uses, buying them locally, not buying them online because you have to use a credit card, so it'd be a disaster to deal with Bob trying to make a payment go and so forth. So I'm motioning to do wood tables, which are 420 a piece. They're the highest compared to like 380, 390, but they're the most durable and longest lasting versus the plastic ones that do
And
this.
how much do they weigh?
They weigh 70 to 75. I had them check that spec, so
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, and they're the same as the plastics, it's not like we're getting like a
Oh, okay.
200-pound table, nobody
Nobody's
can
gonna
move.
walk off with it.
Exactly.
What's the finish on the top?
It will be a walnut stain finish, and they can be used as is, or you can put table covers over them, they're finished for usage, they're like sealed and stained and sealed.
It is more parky.
Yeah.
Mark light.
It's not the wood, it's not the plastic, white plastic ones, it's.
Okay, so how much is it and how many do you wanna buy?
It would be, we'd need 10 of them to cover the seating capacity, they're 420 piece, so 4,200 shipping. For 20 of them, which would cover both houses, was 1,200, so it might be a little less, but you're talking, looking at
wanna
about
check?
$5,000.
check with Chris on that before we do that. I mean, he might want white tables on.
He should have been here.
Yeah.
Should have been here, and
He
he
should've
was the
been
one
here.
who was
He should've
supposed to get
done research
tables
on
done
that.
3 months ago.
You guys have been doing this.
He was supposed to get table pricing 3 months ago, and
Yeah.
still haven't
Okay.
done,
I make a
so.
motion to approve the tables that Andrew has picked out.
Simple.
This is the wood ones.
Yeah.
Wood tables,
Wood tables.
420 apiece, we're getting
Yep.
10 of them for Samaria, so 4,200 plus shipping, so it's gonna be 600, 800 in shipping, you're
So
looking
about
at about a $5,000 bill.
Yep.
And then
I'll make a
replace the
motion to
tables there,
approve.
next meeting I'll get prices for rectangular for here. So Chaz,
Alright, I'll
motion approved.
second that, yeah.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye,
Aye.
Okay.
we're getting new tables.
Yay, finally. Okay, cow meeting. We need to have a cow meeting to discuss the ARPA proposals. And it should be either later this week or early next week, where we can get together and we can talk about what's going on, what's available, what's not available.
And we
Their
got it
next
already?
meeting is, I think,
Next week.
end of January, yeah, no, it's not, it was gonna be next week and they postponed it, so it'll be another week, so. But yeah, we need to talk about that, so we're all on the same page, know what's happening.
What, is there something new? They've come back to us?
They've come back to us, they want more information, they want plans, they want, and I told them, I said, we're not willing to spend money to hire somebody to come out and make a plan for us, until we know that you're ready to fund that for us. I mean, yeah, we can come up with, $1,000, but why, if you're not gonna fund it for us? So, they came back and they said they don't want anything done over at Instant. They said, don't even consider that. They're stuck on white. Doesn't have to be in the corner, doesn't have to take out a field like we talked about. I talked to the gentleman from the ramp company, and he said they could probably do a skate park, small, where the two basketball courts were.
The old courts,
The old courts, the old courts.
which the
And
whole
he was
reason for
thinking-
removing those was because they're in a low-lying area that
I know, I
floods.
already told him
And
that.
they did interfere with the outfield of the field when a larger, older
They
leagues
had to
play on.
drain.
Why are you so
They had
set
to
on
drain.
skate park? Why don't you wait until you see the results of these surveys?
I'm
What-
not-
you are
I'm not
very-
set.
No, you really
No, I
are.
think what's happening is that the ARPA committee is set, and we continue going to the ARPA committee with stuff, and it's like,
They're
we're
telling
looking
us
for
White Park.
proposals that are sort of in the neighborhood of a skate park at White Park.
White Park will never get
So, like,
funded
that's
for
what,
skate
like-
parks,
like-
so-
ARPA committee.
I mean, I had the running water bathrooms and the
Yeah.
playground equipment,
Yes.
and we've presented a number of different
Yeah,
things,
we
like,
prioritized
they're
New water
looking-
fountains,
and
new.
That was nowhere near it.
Like
They
they-
always wanted, they want more information, they want plans, they want, and we can't do plans, we're
No.
not.
I'll make more plans.
Can't do
What
it.
are you- Shut
No,
up.
they
They
want-
want
the
legitimate
schematics,
drawn out
They want drawings,
drawings.
they want.
We'll do that if we're
Exactly.
being encouraged to get an affirmative.
Right.
We've been discouraged, so why would we continue when we've been discouraged?
Well, I think we should get together, we should all decide on a plan here and say, yes, go forward with it, or no, don't go forward with it, or
But
do
what
the,
is
do
it?
the fountains.
But
Give them the water
is-
fountains,
These are
they're
water fountains.
5,400 apiece,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
16 grand. Replace these water fountains that are rusting at White, Samaria, and
Or
Concord.
get them with the bottle holders and 10,000 apiece.
Yeah,
So that's $40,000 right there.
That'd be nice.
For
Because
people who
our
come with
budget's
their
not gonna
bottles
replace
and
it.
fill it. You know, I mean,
I mean, what, like essentially they want us to put a proposal together about a skate park at White Park. I mean, is there?
No,
Just not-
that's just what
They were-
Mannequin Smith made up.
they were interested in it. That was one of the proposals. The other one I talked about was getting the cameras, and they weren't interested in that. They said, well, you've got cameras here, you've got cameras that work.
I agree, we do need to have a cow meeting and come up with this,
Yes,
because we're all
yeah.
over the place, because
Exactly.
I personally don't think we need cameras. I personally don't think that the skate park is a good idea, and yet, those are the presentations that we're making to the ARPA committee, and that we're investing money in Mannequin Smith designing. So, yes, I think we need to have a meeting and get on the same page with what we want. It doesn't matter what.
I mean, how about just
When
tell them to
we're-
leave us alone and stop asking us to do their job because they have no good ideas and they don't like any of our ideas. You gotta
Well,
just
or
leave
in
us alone.
Gail's
And-
case, she's got ideas and they don't want them.
You gotta get the results from the surveys.
In our case too, we took a look at things.
What, the few people that reply, see what they want from us.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
that.
let's get this survey.
How long is it gonna take for that survey to come back, Carol? Do you have
Well,
any
see,
idea?
she said on the 13th she would be here, February 13th.
With the
But the
results
ARPA
and
committee
an
meeting
update.
will be before that.
Mhm.
So we gotta have something for them
No,
before
we
that.
really don't. They would like it,
We
but no, we
should
really
have
don't.
something.
Why?
They wanna spend the money.
I'll
wanna
bet
get
they
it
do.
spent.
Sure they do.
I'll
For
bet
a
they
year
do.
and a half, we've been giving
I'm
them
not in a
ideas.
rush just
I'm
because
not-
they
I will
realize
backwards
they
for
need
that.
to.
So happy
spend
when
money.
this money is gone, I'll tell you what, I just want it to be
Spending the
done.
money's their issue.
I just want it
If
to
they
be
can't agree
gone.
with our ideas, then.
Yeah, I mean, like, I
Let them
can
figure it out
five different
themselves.
things I presented.
Let's decide on a county
So-
meeting. Let's decide on a time for the county meeting. I talked with Chris, he says he can do Tuesdays or Thursdays, anytime after 6:30 to
Next
8
Monday
o'clock.
night.
Tuesdays or Thursdays. I can't do tomorrow night, I can do
Next
Thursday.
Monday night.
I have no way of,
I'm
Week
okay
from
with
tonight.
it. It's vacation, it's
I
holiday.
have no way of providing a reliable
Yeah.
answer, sorry.
Actually, yeah, I'm usually
I mean,
Fridays at
like-
5 AM the next
Oh,
morning,
nice.
so, no. No to next Monday.
If I'm here, I will certainly be here.
If
and
it's
if
next
not,
week, I
don't
can't,
know.
I'll be gone.
I
Maybe
would-
on next week.
Yep.
All
I'm in
right.
Vegas. for
I always
County
say,
convention.
Well, can we try for Thursday? If Chris can do it, you and I can do it, that's three of us, that one.
This Thursday
You
I
won't be
could,
here for Thursday?
but
Oh,
is that,
I'm
It's
a,
your idea,
Is
all
that-
get on the same page.
I
Chris.
agree, but
But
I'm
you
also
can't-
not gonna rush just because they have a meeting. I'm not gonna, oh my god, quick, we gotta find something they can spend the money on that they'll be happy with. No,
No, we just come
No.
together and decide, yes, we're
I
gonna do this, or no,
understand.
we're not gonna do
we
it.
can do it right now if you want.
Well, Chris isn't here, I want him. to
I was
be on.
thinking before the next meeting, you know, but, cause we've done that in the past, where we did like
Right.
a half an hour before the next meeting.
Sure,
6:30.
that's a
if
good
it
idea.
has to be Tuesday or
But-
Thursday before next meeting, your option is this
If it's-
Thursday, the 12th.
Yeah, I mean, if it can't be before, if it can't be the
That's
next
a good
2
idea.
weeks Monday, then I have no idea.
I would agree with
I
that.
don't know, that's why like,
Meet an
name
hour
a date and
before our
I'll
next
probably
meeting.
be there.
Yeah, or do
Well,
that
that's in 2 weeks.
That's,
Right.
yeah, it's not 23rd next meeting.
Yeah, the 23rd.
at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
And then we
See,
fix
and
it.
I think the ARPA committee.
I think that's
It
great.
saves them because when they come to record,
You think
it's
the
all in one.
25th? Okay, well, it's the 25th, we're good. Last time it was the day of our meeting, so that didn't help us at all, because I had to meet them at 9 o'clock, and then our meeting was in the evening, so.
Oh, yeah,
They lose.
yeah.
Do we need a full hour?
All right,
Does it
so
have
in
to
2
be an hour?
weeks,
We could probably, there's gonna be some argument.
2 weeks at 6 o'clock,
The 23rd, 6 PM,
6 PM.
same thing located here.
That's for the county.
For the
That's
county
the
meeting, yep.
meeting, Yep,
Then we'll have our regular park board
meeting
meeting
after
at
that
7
at
PM.
7, yep, okay,
Here.
that'll work, yeah, it shouldn't take more than an hour. Okay, fireworks.
I talked with Dr. Schultz, we are approved to use the Dean Creek launch location like we did 2 years ago, because the stadium will be under construction with the new concessions and bathrooms, starting some point mid to end of April and through the summer.
Right.
So we can't launch at the stadium, but he's green lighted us, we're good to use that same spot. If you talk with 3B, let them know that
Yeah.
their field
Yeah.
party that they had last time at White Park's probably gonna be a lot busier, because everybody needs to be on that
Right.
side of the woods to see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other than that, we just need to get in touch with Ace Pyro to see about the first payment, the deposit payment.
Okay, and you've got the contact info, right?
Yep, so I'll
So
contact
you'll-
him,
okay.
do you wanna handle, I don't know if we need to do anything this far in advance
Have
with
him,
police,
yes, have
fire,
him send an
insurance.
invoice for the first half payment, because they usually get the first half of January, and then the
And
rest.
watch it'll like show up too.
So just, yeah, it's better to
Request
have
an
an invoice
invoice.
than just say,
Yep.
oh yeah, just give them half of it, budgeted.
Other than that, I don't have anything new. Do we want to look at, this was the whole point of having this on here, was to discuss, are we looking at contacting back the food trucks? I know Gottier's the one that's been there for 2 years now, she's all on board with coming back, I'm sure Pepper Penguin.
there is on board.
Do we wanna expand upon it? Do we wanna charge something different? Do we, cause now is when, if we're gonna expand it and get more food trucks, you've gotta start now, or you'll not. Friday, the 23rd of June is our scheduled launch date, with the 24th as a rain date. If that entire weekend washes out like it did 2 years ago, we'll revisit our dates.
So 23rd.
Right, I'm pulling it up just to be sure. Yep, Friday the 23rd, which is the weekend before everybody else is late.
Yep.
Any money that's made, anything they pay is going to township hall and not being reflected in anything.
Yeah, you don't even get it, so what does it matter?
Which is fine, but like, maybe sure, hey, township hall, would you like to have a fireworks liaison to, like, they'd probably do a really great job and they'd be able to make lots of money. And
Good point, anything we raise is going to them anyway. So let's just leave it as what we charged them before, and I don't.
well, or, I mean,
That's not his point.
Yeah.
no, I mean, kind of, I mean, it's like, hey, township hall, you're
What?
where the park board is putting on this big thing, which you can make a lot of money off of, why don't you go do something and make a lot of money off of it?
You were
I
there.
mean, but,
Yeah, I've been there both years.
I saw pictures of the trucks lined up.
Mhm.
Do we need more trucks to take care of who was there?
You
Keeping in mind that if we're moving,
It's gonna be lined up
3D
like it was
is
2
very
years
much
ago.
against food trucks at White Park.
Right, but at any
Because they
rate,
open
where
the
we lined
concession
up,
stand.
this is what we did 2 years
Okay,
ago.
okay,
And we had purple paint and got ears.
okay.
We grew, the only thing we added,
We had 4 this year.
we had the actual lights and all that stuff, which is new,
Yeah.
and a different
Right.
food one.
Right.
The whole time leading up to the show, like, I mean, the lines were huge. I'm sure we can do more, but they love being busy. It's kind of
Oh, I'm
a, do
sure
we
they-
want
I don't care.
competitors?
I don't care.
Right.
Was it too busy? Would you have waited in the lines
I
to
did.
get what was there? Okay.
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
too.
I
So
got
you're
ice
okay.
cream, yeah,
Okay.
I was fine with it.
So we had talked about
We
adding.
don't need more lights and that
No,
kind of stuff.
we had
Those
talked about
guys-
adding a Mexican truck.
Yeah, you could do
Mexican
another
truck.
food
But we
truck.
had difficult finding one that would come
And
out. to-
one local in Bedford that is always at Pavlov's,
Pavlov's.
Colby Cheeses. They're like
Oh.
grilled cheeses and all that. I tried to get them, but they were already booked. So we can get another food
Right.
item option. I wouldn't get another ice cream one because Purple Penguin does great with it and they do a great job. And
Right.
the line's long, but it moves. You move through it.
Yeah.
And what happens is you get the ice cream trucks that come anyway,
Yeah,
and we
'Cause
chased them out
3Ds
in years past,
Yup.
you know, but,
yeah, the actual like
yeah.
music playing ice cream truck. That's, you know.
One of those kiddie machines.
yeah, I think Township Hall should take charge and permit the thing and have the police send anyone out that they don't want there.
Well, we can discuss this further, we've got time for this, but.
Yep,
yeah,
that's-
I think we should work on food trucks, or get somebody from the township hall to work on
Yeah.
food trucks for that. Okay, G, do we want to
Positions.
position votes, change anything?
My motion that everybody's
Anybody
job stays the
wanna
same.
nominate anybody?
I'm fine with that. Like I said, if you want secretary back, I'm not holding it from you.
I
If
haven't
you don't,
opened a
I'll
computer,
stay.
honestly, I haven't opened a computer since I was a secretary. Like, I moved away from them these days, so I would, but if you guys are happy, it's essentially the three of you, Chris is the vice, which is whatever, right? So,
It's in name.
And we'll formally put you in as the pocket park liaison.
There you
And
go.
I'll start
There you go.
answering G on park updates, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay, that'll work.
But, okay, treasurer, secretary, chairman or president, right?
Cheer, yeah.
I'm putting you in as Aaron.
I could take Chris's job, I guess, to the extent that I can be vice, because he's not here, but I'm sure he's okay with it.
You get paid more money if you're vice.
No way,
Yes, you do.
that can't be possible.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Just like you get paid more money for being chair.
I sign everything, and he doesn't get any more than the
As
rest
the
of you.
treasurer, as the treasurer, you're supposed to.
Well, do you?
So what I've got down is
No.
Aaron as the pocket parks liaison, all other positions remain the same. That's your motion, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if we're doing park liaisonships, then yeah, all those stay the same.
Yeah,
We're creating a new pocket parks liaison
correct.
job.
That's your new
update,
position.
And everybody else keeps the same jobs that they had. Yeah, I mean,
Works for me.
I motion that.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Sorry, I'm just writing it.
I know. Can't speak and write at the same
No,
time, I did.
too many things. Although congratulations. Maintain what you're doing.
All right, parks update, Anstead. I have not been to the park in 2 weeks, so I don't know what's going on there. I've gotta pull the sign, did you pull the sign from here? For the, survey sign?
No, I did not.
Okay.
If we're
So
closing it,
we
pull
should
signs.
pull the signs from that. So I need to stop over there in a Wheeler and pull the signs from that. I haven't heard anything else about Wheeler either while we're talking about it, I'll just say that. Cars Grove,
No major update other than Christmas tree recycling is going on here. It's going really well. They're cleaning them up real quick, like there's hardly anything over there.
oh good.
It's going through this upcoming Sunday the 15th is their last pickup day. So other than that, same old maintenance is in here, starting to get painting stuff done. They got the walls cleaned
Yep.
up and so they're picking away at that on their snow days, which they haven't had much of. Yeah, that's it for car.
I spray painted the ends of the contraption when it was gonna snow and be really cold, just cause I, wanted them to be able to be seen, but maybe it could be,
Talking about
done by
parking area.
maintenance eventually with brighter, more solid paint, but I did that just to get it done, place looks good, the skate park is the skate park, and I don't know. I mean,
I know.
honestly, the skate park is like a bike park at this point, and if we were to have a pump track, like just actually making the skate park more outfitted officially to bikes might be not the worst idea, cause it is just like a bike place now, and I don't know that that's the worst thing, so, I don't know, but it's almost always bikes that use the quote-unquote skate park. And nobody so much lately, but I go there a lot to clean it up, and it is what it is, but yeah, the contraption in the middle.
The parking barrier thing is what you painted.
Yeah, I mean, I do still wanna make it an island and not a parking area, but I think it's.
Does it appear to be doing its job?
Yeah.
It's keeping people from.
Making donuts and being dangerous, yes. But it's like, is anyone gonna park there? And then if people actually park there,
We'll find out when.
It's like-
It's
We'll
warmer
find out when
and
baseball
there's-
season comes.
When
Yeah,
it's super
baseball,
crowded,
disc
yeah.
golf.
it's like, is parking there actually gonna be good? I don't know. But nobody's doing donuts and being dangerous, so that's great, but yeah.
All right, we'll skip some areas since Chris isn't here. White?
Nothing.
Nothing else?
Was he ever able to get the drainage tiling and all that done for like the freeze and everything? I didn't think so.
And we haven't had fruits, so.
Alright. Well, we did it for like 2 weeks. and-
Yeah, no, I've gotta call into him to find out when he's gonna do that. I also have to get the baseball leases to Phil to review and get the playscape inspected. So,
Speaking of white, I cruised by there a week or two ago, I don't know, but, what about a squeegee? If we put a squeegee, like, at the end of the
Yeah, but
basketball court?
it shouldn't require that.
But like this whole drama of like all the craziness, like, just put a squeegee there. And it'd take about 30 seconds.
Get the water.
And anybody wants to play, will squeegee it off, and then they'll play basketball.
You could do that, you'd have to use a push broom because the concrete's too coarse, it would tear up the squeegee.
Yeah, it's room finish.
But the problem is that it's mound up higher than the concrete. So you can't, that's why it's draining onto the concrete, because you can't push it off, the dirt's higher. So as soon as he fixes it and levels it out, then you could.
Well, that won't be there.
Right.
You won't need a
Hopefully.
squeegee because the water won't be
Right,
there.
I mean, you put a push broom, yeah, I've got him with a push broom, I can use it.
I was gonna say, I mean, like a holster with
Yeah.
a couple pieces of equipment might just be all things.
Sure, not a bad idea. But that's what's going on over.
Okay. And like I said, I have not been to Wheeler, so I don't know what's going on there. I have no complaints though, so that's good. And the pocket parks,
So there's there's the Paul neighborhood, good, we all know that. And then there's the Cranbrook Road, which is, the neighborhood right off of Stearns, like near the Wendy's. And
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
there's a couple in that neighborhood, but there's one that's pretty substantial, that's got playground equipment.
Okay.
And then there's one on like Lucille Street inside the neighborhood off Monroe Road,
remember that one?
Yeah.
and that's got playground equipment. Those are the three that like have stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Honestly, I didn't think Tanglewood had anything.
Like,
It's just lots.
tell me if you know of others, I guess. I'm still in the investigatory
I know.
phase.
Maybe,
Oh,
like,
pocket parks?
Of pocket park, like those are the three I
They're in the
believe.
master plan.
No, I know, and I've been going around searching for them, and those are the three that seem like they actually have some
I
like.
can't remember if Tanglewood had equipment there or not. Or
I'll
not
keep
just
looking.
lots.
I mean, yeah, just let me know if you can think of any others
I don't
that have like
think
stuff,
so.
other than just.
We mow them, cause I know it's like 4
Right.
lots in the middle.
I gotta get to a printer, but I'm taking pictures of them and then I'm gonna print them all out and like, you guys can tell me if I've missed any of them that you know of and we'll look through the master plan and see if I've got them all, but those seem to be the three
Those are the three
substantial
main,
ones
yeah.
Yeah.
that like actually have equipment and stuff at them, from what I can ascertain, so. I don't know, it's,
As of right now, Purple Penguin, Got Ears, and the light truck are all excited for the 23rd and have it on their schedule.
All right,
That's,
excellent. All right, that takes us down to comments from the public. Any more comments?
Gail, Temperance. You took a vote on yourselves. It may not hurt if you send a letter to the township if you would like to continue to have Todd as your liaison. They also have to make their reassignments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can vote me out.
Yep.
I
The
don't
other
think we actually
question
can,
is,
can we? I mean, you guys send who you're
We
gonna
can,
send.
we can
Yeah.
recommend,
Well, yeah, you can, because just like the library board, they said they want nothing to do with Craig.
Well,
And Paul's like, screw you, he's staying, so,
no, they don't have anybody.
yeah, he's still the liaison, but Al shows up, because Craig doesn't want to do anything.
I hope those are heat-resistant tables, because that's what causes the problem.
that was the reason for going up.
The other thing is when I went to ARPA, I did listen, and Lori was there for the one. They're wanting an engineered study and design. That's expensive.
Yeah.
We're not.
And if you're not gonna
With the
be
budget we don't
promised,
have.
again, I would not either. So, they should be having a cow meeting. The public has asked that they televise and that they make this stuff public, and they're not, really willing to do that. Again, they're supposed to have gotten all of the bids, all of the ideas, and made a list of the recommendations, which is to go back to the board. Instead, they're piecemealing out the projects. Some they're saying yes to automatically, and those people are being allowed to have it. So it's an unfair advantage for the board to vote when they don't know what the big picture is, and this is what we've been trying to share with them. It's Mr. Peroni who wants this bump track, or whatever track it is. He's the one that's wanting this to be up in the front of the parks. I've spoken with Lori. You have this idea of having this park for kids that don't have full abilities, and you're gonna put it at the highest point of any park that we have. So you've gotta look at getting a wheelchair to go up a hill, et cetera, et cetera. So I would really look closer at where you're wanting to put this playground and maybe do some readjusting. And again, you've got the survey. I was one of the 346. So the thing of it is that I would not do anything until you're able to have this submitted. And you should be allowed, before they give away all the ARPA money, to have your 5-year plan done. I mean, it's not your fault as to the timing of all this stuff, but you need to put together your 5-year plan. And as far as the pocket parks go, there's quite a few of them. All you have to do is FOIA
Get the list.
and ask, because there are those that are under the parks, and then there's this whole long list over here that's under the township. There are quite a few pocket parks sitting out there. And again, but I mentioned at the township meeting, why would we spend money in a small neighborhood? We're beyond that now. Our 31,000 people, they all wanted subdivisions, you got them. You don't get to have a park in everywhere. You know, you provide for your own kids in your own backyard. We're developing a bigger park in a greater expanse, and those are the ones that we should be developing and undoing these little tiny small, you know, little neighborhood parks unless they want to buy it and fix it up. So that's my take. I was told that this was ludicrous to even consider taking down a basketball, but if it's broken and it's not working and it's unsafe, is what the claim is, then yes, that's what needs to happen. It needs to come down and it needs to go away. You don't keep spending money on this. So that's all. Like I said, I give my suggestions to you. I did the survey, so wishing you best of luck.
Thank you, Gail.
All right, anyone else? Commissioners' comments, Don, what do you got?
All right, I talked to Bob, as far as keeping a separate fund, he said he is already doing that. And from what Bob told me, he said both Chaz and he said he's talked to both you guys, and he also said you guys can find it on the spreadsheet. Any monies that you guys make, whether it be hall rental, anything else, that goes into a separate fund that you guys are able to access and see how much money I'm just going by what Bob told me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's telling me one thing.
So he said that there's a separate line item that you guys are able to see on how much money that you have made. I asked him to come to the meeting tonight. He said he can't do Mondays.
Right.
Mondays are bad for him,
Sure.
but he said it's there, and I also told him, he said, because, I said, now that the park board money comes from the general fund, I said, that money that the park board generates from the rentals should be theirs to spend however they want to. It should not go into the general fund, nor should it be considered when they ask for their budget next year. And he's like, yeah, that's fine, that's what I'm already doing. And from what he told me, he said, well, you and Carol already know that.
That's the exact opposite of what he told me, unless I misunderstood.
There you go.
Which maybe I did,
It's-
but that's the exact opposite.
I'm in the same boat as you, cause
But
I
if
did
you
the same
look at
thing when
what-
I talked to council.
What he sent us.
Two different stories.
Yeah, he's sending us the general fund, and there's Department 751, Parks and Recreation Department, and then he goes into everything. But then
Right.
also under Fund 101 is where all of our money goes.
Right.
So
Right, so.
Sure, he
it's,
tracks
it's
the revenue.
separate, but it's
Yeah,
not.
It's
Okay.
tracking
I
it,
mean-
but it's still lumped in here.
Yeah, it's still lumped in with it.
He has a breakout showing like where this total number comes from in this fund, and here's the items, but it's still within the general fund. It's
Yeah.
not ours.
Yeah.
In order to get it, we have to ask for approval for
Right,
the rental.
anything from the general fund, you'd have to ask the
Maybe I
township board
misunderstood.
for.
I'll double check.
I mean, that's what he told me, and that's what he told you, so.
Yeah, I can double check.
I mean, cause that's what he told me, I mean, if you guys want, I can make an agenda item to have Bob come up and explain how
No, maybe I
but then
misunderstood.
He did that.
what do you need?
He did that once.
Maybe I
Okay.
misunderstood him, I'll go and talk to him again. and
Okay.
See if we're on the same page, because if what he's telling you is accurate, then that changes everything. Then
Okay.
the money that we make, we can reinvest into our facilities and our
Which is what we're gonna
progress.
do.
So that's for you to spend how you want, you make it.
But if what I understood to be true, and you understood to be true, is that all that money coming in is going into the township pot,
Mhm.
And we have
and
to
we're
ask
getting
for
just
it.
what was budgeted.
No,
Not-
cause that's even what
not-
I asked him, I said, cause this money they make, I go, they want it separate, they wanna know how much they make.
No, we know,
Here-
that's the difference. Maybe it's a wording thing.
Uh-huh.
We know exactly how much we make. He does track that.
Okay,
We want that money,
yeah.
because as of
Sure
right
he is.
now,
I go, it's part board
I
money.
agree, but as of right now, I believe it's getting dumped into the township funds.
It
Well,
is in the general fund, and if
It
we
is,
want
but
it,
but what Bob told me, he said, yes, it is going in, but it's a separate item that you guys can see how much you guys make. So you know that it's your money.
but we
But
have
it's
to
not
ask
a
the
money.
township if we want it.
That's right, we
We
may
have
have
to
to go
go
to the
to
If we make,
township.
if we
We have to go to the township hall.
do
and say,
amazing and we make a ton of money, we're gonna get 150. If we do crappy and we don't get any money, we're gonna get 150.
There we go. Well, you
So
should get
that's
the-
like-
well, you should get the 150, but then all the money you made, you should get that
I don't
too.
think
That-
we-
that's-
we
That shouldn't
complete-
even be considered,
We completely agree with you, that's 100%,
yeah.
but I think we may have to go to your board and
Uh-huh.
get your
In order
board
to
to
get
sign
that
off on
money.
it, because
Uh-huh.
right now, at least my understanding is that's not the way it's working.
Right.
The township is taking all the money we make,
Mhm.
we get what we were budgeted, that's it. We
Yeah.
don't get any of the money that we make, so we have to stick to our budget.
Okay,
So,
just find out when you talk to Bob, let me know.
I'll talk.
If we have to, we'll get,
yeah, maybe I misunderstood.
we'll change, whatever we have to do,
I'll
it's
check.
fine, cause it's park board's money.
Yep.
All right, the only thing I have for comments would be that, we've gotta think about, what is it, the March trade fair. Do we want to participate in the trade fair this year, or not? If so, we're there for like 2 hours, each of us gets a 2-hour time slot.
I'm already with my company in it,
So
so I'm
So you're
not
already
going
with
with
your
that,
company,
yep.
you won't.
We're only doing it one day this year, one
And
day.
it said there's
Only
no
one day,
cost,
which is good.
and I saw there's no cost.
There's no cost, you still have to pay, I think it's like $295 for a
I
table.
think they're
Usually,
waiting.
we've
They're
never
waiting.
done that before, we've always partnered with the township hall, they've had a table, we've had a table next to it. But we'll have to check that, because maybe.
I thought I saw an advertisement that said trade fair with no fees this year.
What? Okay.
They're
No, like that they're letting everyone in.
They're letting everyone in, you don't have to be be a BBA member, but you still pay for the table.
So you don't have to be BBA member
Yeah.
fees, you can.
Oh, this is adult trick or treat anyways, it's such
So
a
what do
waste.
you, Carol, I've gone to it, I've never paid
Well,
any
for
attention to
us,
it, what do
we've
you do?
always had, whatever we're planning,
Mhm.
so in this case, I don't know, pump track, basketball courts, whatever we're gonna be doing for the next year, you set that up so people can see it. You can run a little survey there for something if you want, we've already got our survey, and hopefully we'll have all of our,
You know, I
master
remember one year,
plan done by
you guys
then.
were giving away trees, little freaking
Oh, really?
Beautification.
That was nice.
That was the, that wasn't us,
Beautification.
that was the beautification, beautification.
I got a couple trees.
White pines.
I mean, they're only like this big.
Seeing as how we got 1% of the population to actually go on their screen for 5 minutes and take a survey, I'm not interested in sitting there.
I won't be available for it, so you can.
It's you and me, Aaron,
I'll go.
and maybe Chris.
I'll come by. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
It's usually Saturday.
Saturday, one day, it's only
I
one
mean,
day.
if I'm here, I'll be there. Who knows? I'll try, but if
Well,
I'm here,
Well,
I'll
like I
be
said,
there.
you'll
We'll
find the
explore that
professionals,
further,
the
but-
adults will come with either stickers or stampers.
Yeah, no, I
Let
know
me give
trick
away,
fairs.
that's a raffle,
Yeah.
they just.
I've done the trick fair.
It's adult
Free
trick or
cigarette
treat is all
candy.
it is, it's a freaking waste.
So we had a big thing at the end, it was a big thing.
I mean, if you sign us up, I'll be there 90%.
All right, we'll see what we can do. I'll talk to Al, see what they plan on doing, because we're not gonna pay for table.
Yeah, that's-
If we're gonna split with them, then that would be great. We can sit there
Fair enough.
and, talk about our programs, so. Okay, anybody else? You got anything else? No? No?
No, we're good. We're
Nothing?
good.
Okay, we're good. Next meeting, Cars Grove Hall, January 23rd at 7. We will be there at 6 PM for the county meeting.
Correct.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?